Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. Let's talk about gaming on the M1 Mac, or perhaps the M2 or the M3. MacOS Sonoma 14.1.1 has what's called gaming mode. It's where it prioritizes everything for gaming to make it better. And surprisingly enough, even with a base model Mac Mini like this one, this is the M1 8x256, so 8 core CPU, 8 core GPU, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 drive. Well, surprisingly enough, it's actually doing quite well. We're currently running an activity monitor in the bottom right corner, so you might want to pay attention to that area a bit. And you can see we got 8 gigs of RAM, 5.49 gigs of memory used. Now, that's between Minecraft, of course, and the operating system. And that's combined, because you don't get the RAM back just because you launch a program, right? So, the last time I did any testing with Minecraft was actually on my 16 by 512 M1 Mini. And with the world I had, which was, it's just a, large biome, and I had a bunch of stuff built, and in no time at all we were at like almost 12 gigabytes of RAM in use. We're not seeing that anymore. There's been a lot of OS updates since then, right to Sonoma 14.1.1, which has the gamer mode, which shuts down background tasks. And generally when you go and you play a game, a little dialog box quickly pops up that says that it's going into game mode. This does not happen with Minecraft, though. It seems it still may just be going into that anyways, as you'll see shortly. Now, the biggest world that you can build before you get started at anything is the Amplified, which is for a beefy machine, and they say just for fun. I called it Amp to the Maxed, okay? And this is also gonna be a lot bigger than anything I've ever built, just by not even building anything yet. This is just what Minecraft puts together for a massive amplified world, which, I mean, if you really want to test your CPU and GPU performance out from blowing stuff up, find yourself a nice big area, okay? Something like one of these tall structures, and bore down as deep as you can, at least until you hit water, and blow it all up, okay? And if you get a stall out or farting going on, especially bad stuff, which you're going to find very common on Intel Macs, then yeah, you kind of don't really have a beefy enough system. But on the M1, surprisingly enough, even though these technically aren't gaming computers, Apple never has been said that they were a gaming platform, okay, not like PCs. Yeah, there's no farts, hesitations, or anything, which is quite impressive. But in going around these massive structures, I mean, the amount of blocks used for rendering and everything, I mean, you do definitely have a lot of stuff that still gets rendered in the game as you're flying around. That's going to be on any computer, of course. And it's just kind of really nuts. It's just, it's incredible. But we're only at 6.3 gigs of RAM here, and we haven't done anything yet. Now, why I still have a cursor on my screen, I don't know. Maybe if we can move that off to the side. No, actually, that doesn't help. We got to go back to the game. So I don't know why the cursor is still up here at all, but we do still have our target. But probably a game glitch, who knows. But yeah, like even going down and getting closer to things, you're going to fly around much quicker, obviously, that sort of thing. So in flying around, it's making very good use of the memory. And this has actually quite surprised me, how well it's actually working. Because in a world this big, I would easily be at 9-10 gigs of RAM to fire up with previous OSs and previous versions of Minecraft. So definitely a lot of things are changing for the better, especially with gaming on a low spec Mac like this one. Okay, now what I've done is another world here that I call Bench Tester, and I still haven't found my house again, damn it, but it was there. I was flying around yesterday trying to do this video, and I'm like, oh man, my house is like gone. Like, it's around here somewhere. Am I ever going to find it? I don't know. It could be, maybe. But But either way, this is a lot, and this is like not even amplified. This is like your large biomes, right? And it's quite large, quite a lot of detail as far as what's been going on. I mean, you can go down and explore basically undergrounds that you find in here without any difficulty, and you can go quite deep even in this. Like even down into here, I mean, it's pretty creepy. Let's see if we can get some light on the situation here. Now this can lead us to all kinds of who knows where. See, there. And we can keep going deeper. And this is just amazing. Like the structures that the game builds are really kind of nuts, And the fun you can have is just amazing. So here we got another opportunity to go down deeper. We could also shift over to here. We'll eventually probably find a dead end. And we're still only at 6.3 gigs of RAM. I think, well, what's up here? This should start bringing us up back again somewhere. Maybe. It's just crazy how they build stuff and the things we can find in here. So we're definitely at a dead end here. That's quite large. Now, if you wanted to get out of here in a hurry, how are we going to get out? There we go. So we came back enough, we weren't down that bad. And where are we up here? So yeah, definitely making great use of RAM. 6.45 gigs in use. We're still doing good. We're not hitting swap at all. Normally, you would have hit swap a long time ago with this. Just because older version and older OS that did not support game mode, where those background tasks get shut down. Now, if we go and we quit the game completely, we're going to see that now the operating system, instead of using just even 4.5 to 5 gigs by itself, which is generally what it does, in game mode it shuts off those background tasks, whatever they are. I have no idea. But we're only using about 3.4 gigs of RAM. And we can go on to some further game testing in windowed games like, for example, Motorbike. Motorbike is a game I really like. And you can play it full screen or windowed. So we're going to do it windowed to keep an eye out. And we're at 6.5 gigs of RAM right now. Oh, that hurt. Okay, it's all 6.19 gigs. 1.8 gig. Not bad. So we'll quit out of there. Let's go try Island Racer. Now these two games are downloaded from the Apple App Store. Game mode on. Prioritizes the performance of this game within full whatever. I missed all that. Now, I gotta tell you, in game mode 2, this is normally a really sucky game um, because it's very laggy, and it's not near what it used to be for lag. It's actually playing a lot better, and I've owned this game for quite a long time, and I've never really much played it because it was just really not that responsive of a game. Even with 16 gigs of RAM, it was like, this sucks, you know? It's actually much, much better with whatever Apple's doing with this game mode thing. It's actually, the game is responding so much more. And once you learn how to drive, you can do some pretty cool drifting around corners, but I haven't played driving games in a long time. Ouch. There goes the tree. Oh, into the water we go. Okay, we need to get out of the water. There we go. So it is a lot more responsive. It's not perfect, you know, but you got to learn how to drive too, which is a big thing. And I still got a lot of learning to do on this one. So, great game, works fantastic. The other game I really like to play is called Skyrim the Elder Scrolls. Now, this is a wine wrapper game. We're not going to be able to see how much RAM it's actually chewing because it does take over the entire screen. But what we want to look for is when we quit the game is if it goes into virtual memory. That's a big thing because I know this game's a bit of a hog. And that's fine. It's just the way it is. Now, I play this generally at Ultra Graphics 1080p, and normally this is a PC game, but you can wrap it with Paul Attal's porting toolkit, and you can easily do the special edition. Now, if you bought I don't know if there is a full anniversary edition. I know there's an update, but you can't run the update through Paul Attal's porting kit. Now, my display, of course, is a 2K by 4K display, but it's locked at 2K because I'm going through DisplayPort, which also gives me my full 165 refresh rate of my monitor off of this computer. And it works great. Like, I have no problems. There's no, chugging, really. I mean, per se, like, none of that sort of thing. It runs fantastic. I've had no issues. And by the way, it is an extremely long game. So just in that much of playing, if we go in here and we decide to quit, let's quit here, quit and desktop, and yep. And again, we don't notice whether or not we went into swap. Now, I'm also back to using the 256 internal as my boot drive. All my games are playing off the 1 terabyte external this time. The last time I played Skyrim with Sonoma was when I was running the external as my boot drive, and my games and everything else were on that drive. Plus, I, of course, did have everything alternately backed up so I didn't have to worry. But I did notice it went into virtual because it stayed behind. Since reloading back to the 256, everything is working differently, which is kind of really weird. But it's better, so I guess I can't complain, But now that we're, using less RAM, that's great. But what happens with these background tasks is they don't turn themselves back on. You literally have to reboot your computer to get all that stuff turned back on again that Apple shuts down during gaming mode. Okay, which, hey, I'm all for, especially the benefits of Minecraft, because, before, if you had an 8 gig machine and you were playing Minecraft, even not in, like, even a massive built world kind of thing, you know, you are definitely going to be way into virtual, like 4 or 5 gigs into to swap, and now it's not entering swap. And even with an amplified world, that should automatically shoot it right in because there's so much rendering and so many blocks already pre-built, you know, for you. Like that is like massive. And yeah, it's not going into swap, and I'm like, there's a really good thing about this whole game mode. But like I said, the drawback is we don't know what programs are getting shut down in the background to allow this to happen. But it certainly does save on RAM when you quit. But on the other side of the fence, what programs is it affecting? We don't know, right? So you may want to consider rebooting just in case you may have one of those programs on your computer already that you may need to run, and it might not run again until you reboot. Or maybe it will turn those features on. We have no clue. That's the thing. Apple really didn't tell us much on that one other than, hey, we have a benefit for you. It's called gaming mode, and it works from the M1 right on up. Whether or not game mode works on macOS 14.1.1 on Intel Macs, I don't know, because we do know that there are a lot of features since the Ventura came out, that a lot of those features that were in Ventura and above will not be available to Intel Mac users at all. So, but all features are available to M1, M2, M3. So there you go. Anyways, that's a little bit of game testing. We have more testing to go through yet. I want to try video editing again because last time I did it was the opposite for the boot drive, and I was fine for my editing process, but when I went to export, it went into virtual. So I'm going to have to cut a video, and then we'll come back and we'll edit that video. I'll make it like a 20-minute clip, and we'll edit that video and see if it throws us into virtual or not with just simply using iMovie. And you guys know I'm kind of like a cut and dry kind of guy. It's like clip here, clip there, add, boom, let's export, give it a name, and we're done. And we'll see how that works out for us. So stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.